Dun 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 dun. Liu Kang, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, your mom, your sister. Who else? Nah, I'm playing. But anyways, yo, you know what it is. You know what it do. And what movie did I see this week? Well, you could probably already tell it was Mortal Kombat 2. First, we're going to go ahead and talk about the trailers, see if we can get Sheamus involved or not. So one of the trailers that did show was that movie Pressure. I don't know if you know anything about that movie, but it looks alright. It looks alright. We'll see what happens. Then we got the Mandalorian and Grogu. You know what I mean? I've seen like all the Star Wars movies, but like I didn't see the Solo movie, and I didn't see like all the Disney Plus specials. So for everyone who kept up with it, I'm happy for you. It looks fun, but I didn't keep up. So I guess I better catch up before it comes out. And then they showed the trailer for Resident Evil. Banger, banger. I'll go ahead and give that Star Wars a banger. So we getting there. Odyssey. It looks like a banger. I'm a big Evil Dead fan, so Evil Dead Burn. Banger. Supergirl's a banger. I already said that before. We've already talked about that trailer. I'm excited about that one. And then, look, even if there was only, because there has to be 4 bangers for me to throw the Sheamus on there, and we've achieved that. But even if only 2 of the trailers were bangers, The Furious, that martial arts movie looks so good. Like, it was actually the best trailer that came on. Like, that was an ultra banger. So you know what? Sheamus, get in there.
Banger after 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 banger.
Let's talk about some Mortal Kombat. So, until The Boys is over with, I don't know if I want to see Urban in any more movies. Because the whole time, like, when he was going to speak, I just so bad thought he was going to be like, Oi, Huey, you, well, can't say that word on YouTube, but I was about to say, but you know if you watch The Boys. So, it just kind of threw me off, like, that he wasn't, didn't have that accent and wasn't talking like butchers. So, whatever. But, as Johnny Cage, I feel like he did do a pretty good job. People who are like ultra Johnny Cage fans, I think they're the ones that are the most pissed off. They wanted a goofier version of Johnny Cage, but Johnny Cage didn't even like steal the show when it came to the comedy. It was Kano. And so I know Johnny Cage fans are just salty because of that. And it is what it is. But my favorite character in all the games, Katana. And us Katana fans got to eat. Like, they cooked. Like, she was like the only person that they dove into her story. Like, some of these new characters that came in and everything or whatever, and things that were linking in, they didn't dive deep. But with Katana, they sure did let us eat. So they dove into things for her, got us a reason to care about her, and things like that. And you can just tell with the first movie, they knew they angered a lot of Mortal Kombat fans, like introducing the new guy and whatever. And Liu Kang wasn't the main star and all that. And so they tried to write that. Like, I'm not going to ruin it, but they tried to take action. Like, they tried to be like, okay, you guys didn't like we did this? Here you go. And here's Liu Kang doing this. And Liu Kang got to do that. And Liu Kang's the strongest. And blah, blah, blah. Johnny Cage. You could tell they were trying to just feed the Mortal Kombat fans. And the movie, like, it's fine, but it's a mess. The movie is so messy. So like when it comes to the first act of the movie, when you could tell it's coming to an end is when like you've gotten to meet all the characters and the story is getting touched on. They're not gonna obviously release or reveal any twist or anything like that, but you're gonna dive into the story. So we're diving in. That is usually when you know the first act is over. And let's just go ahead and go through how I felt after each act. So after the first act, I'm like, wait a minute. Are we not in the first act anymore? We didn't even really get to do much with some of these characters. I mean, Katana, we eaten, but like, what's going on here? It was like we got a backstory for her and everything, and then everyone else just raised their hand like, I'm a Liu Kang. I am the mightiest warrior. I'm Sonya. I'm Jax. Like, it's just like, it was like everyone else has got like a roll call at school. Like, do I see a Kano over there? You were dead before, right? Right? Welcome back to class. Like, I'm telling you, it was literally like everyone else just rose their hand and here they are. It was kind of funny to me. Then like, the story was so just like kind of rushed and it's just messy and jumbled. Like, I didn't realize like the second like act was like ending so quick. I'm like, wait a minute. We're moving to the third act? Like, because the third act is when you're like headed to the final outcome or like the final boss or the final resolution. When they're the fourth act is all about resolving all the stuff that was going on through the story. Like, say there's two sisters that they hate each other because of what happened in the past, but maybe it can be fixed. And by the time that they go to meet, like, let's say this is a demon movie, so they have that issue, but they got to go face this demon Volnakards, and they're headed to face him. But in the fourth act, they resolve their sibling issues and they love each other, and that power makes them strong enough to take on Volaknards, and they win. Like, all that happens in the fourth act, and like it was like, where in the heck did the second and the third act just go? Like, did they put all this in the first 30 to 40 minutes of the movie and now we're just kind of headed there? And it's just like this jumbled, like, it was, when you see it, you'll see what I mean. I mean, if you know how to like critique a movie and how movies build, if you understand the building blocks of a movie, you're going to think the same thing as me. Like, this is jumbled. Like, this is a jumbled mess. And when you hear critics say that, it doesn't mean they automatically just hate the movie. It just means there is no structure. The movie has no building blocks, as I said. It's just throwing you in, throwing you here, throwing you here. Let's go here. And we might give you some twists and turns in between there. Like, we were just already in the fourth act, and it's like, oh, okay. All right, but I'm going to say this. The most badass fight in this movie is Liu Kang versus Kung Lao. Like, oh my gosh, that fight was so awesome. And then like after that, there's some good fights too. And like Johnny Cage has an interesting fight that's kind of funny. Not his first fight, but his fight after that. His first fight was, but that was them starting everything out. But his fight, I won't say who it's with. I'll just let you get into the story on your own terms and not expect it to come right around the corner. But that fight was pretty cool, pretty funny, everything, whatever. So, you know, that's really all I really got to say about Mortal Kombat. Like, you could tell, like, back when COVID happened and they were streaming movies straight to, like, HBO Max and stuff, and they threw that first Mortal Kombat movie on there, it was, like, one of the highest streaming movies at that time. And everyone, it's because everyone was home and everyone needed to watch something. And that Mortal Kombat movie, to a lot of people, just was, like, the movie to watch through that time. And this movie just felt like it should have been straight on like an HBO Max or something like that. And then the funny part about it is, like I already said, like, you could tell they just want to do away with their quote unquote wrongs. Cause I mean, I enjoyed the first movie for what it was, but their wrongs and what they did. And they try to just change things around and take a new focus in the second film. And I feel like if they do make a third film, they're probably going to get like God Liu Kang. And I'm not going to dive too deep into what I think, because this ain't a spoiler review, but they're probably going to dive into stuff like that, because you can tell they're fully going into fan service. Like even like the way they were doing like some of the stages they fought on, like you could tell it was straight out the video game. Like you could just point out like, oh, the game, or this happens in the background, or this with that, or this. If you in the video game you went near that, you would get hurt on the map. Like they just, or it just was a visual on the map and things like that. It is what it is. So when it comes to this movie, yes, it's a mess, a jumbled mess, but it's a badass mess. But I'm not going to give it, I got to be critical of the movie. So I'm going to give it 3 out of 5 lazy stars. That is where I'm settling at with this movie. So it is what it is. Some people hate the movie. Some people think it's the best movie of all time. Like I've been seeing some people say it's peak and stuff online. I'm like, peak is crazy, but sucks is crazy too. So that's just where I'm at. Is we're at 3 out of 5, and I enjoyed myself, but I wouldn't say it's worth watching in the movie theater. That's just me. Unless you're one of those people that go to the movie and only pay for tickets and you starve yourself, or if you sneak a little snack in, like you take like the 0 sugar drinks because you don't like to drink the soda, and you sneak them in your girl's purse, or you got your little man bag, or you sneak some chips in, or you bring in your own chips, you preheated them before you left the theater, you got your own cheese melting, got it in a container with some jalapenos, you break that out, you might as well get a picnic blanket, like you just whip everything out in the middle of the movie, everyone behind you's like, no they didn't. I mean, at least unless you're one of those people, then fine, sure, it's worth seeing in the movie theater. But if you're like me and you dive into the experience and you're buying all this stuff and whatever and whatnot, I would say just wait to watch it at home, honestly. But hey, you're all grown. And if you're not grown, well, you got a mind of your own and you can go see whatever movie you want. But you gotta be 17 to get into the movie. So that's my opinion. Take it for what you will. I'm out. See ya.